Hey, what's going on YouTube? Good morning. This is Elliot from The Techie, and today I'm coming to you with a video to showcase a project that I've been working on for a couple of weeks now. It's called my CCNA StudyLab, and this is a project that I've been passionate about because I love network engineering, and I wanted to create something that made it easier for people to study their network engineer or sorry, for their CCNA to become a network engineer. And this is my attempt to take everything that I wish I had, or when I was studying for my CCNA years ago, and put it all in one place. Like I said, for everyone to have, to be able to study, to be able to actually do some practice labs. And the best part about it is it's free. So, like I said, I just want to be able to help as many people as I can to break into network engineering. And this was my attempt to give you some help as you're studying for the certification. So, we're going to go through and download the project and let you see and understand what all is entailed and what all you're getting. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you, if you've been looking for something to help you prepare, or if you've watched tons of videos and you've gone as far as you think you can with videos, this might be another way to help you with flashcards and practice labs. And like I said, external links that also will give you extra information besides what you can just find in a study guide. So let's go ahead and get this downloaded, guys, and get it started and get it set up. Like I said, the GitHub repo is online and it's public. So feel free to go download it, fork it, do whatever it is that you want to do with it. And I hope you enjoy it. So let's go ahead and get it started here. I've got my PyCharm open, and we're just going to go ahead and clone the repo. So I'm going to just come up here and select my repo and copy it, and then we'll bring it down here and paste, and we'll clone. All right, so now we're in. We got our repo cloned down. So a couple of prerequisites too that I want to make sure you guys are aware of. That make sure you download Node.js, version at least 20 and up. You have that installed and running on your PC, and then also make sure that you have Docker desktop up and running. It's just going to make this whole process for you a lot smoother. And they are, like I said, well, you have to have it. They're prerequisites. So make sure those are up and good before you start. Besides that, the process is pretty straightforward. So we'll just come down here and open our terminal. And what we're going to do here, so since we've got we're in our main directory here, we're going to go ahead and change and go to, we're going to change to go to the apps. And then we're going to go to the web directory. Okay. Now, once we're in here, we're going to do an npm install. Let this run a bit. All right, we're good there. Next, we want to docker compose minus code minus f, and then we'll dot, and docker, excuse me, docker / docker compose YAML. And then we'll say up minus D and Postgres. All right, it is up and running. Now we want to copy our environment example to our site where it's going to be in our environment local here. So we're going to say copy, so that's cp.env.example to .env.local. And this is where we'll host all our environment variables. As you can see here, everything is pretty much grayed out, and we'll get into this in just a second. So good, we've got that going. Next, we need to generate an authorization secret. So this part is required, and the command to do that is open SSL rand minus base 6432. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video real quick because once you run this, it does generate a token. So let me pause real quick. I'll be right back after I get it installed, and then we'll continue. All right, we're back. I have my secrets, or not my secrets, but my token installed. Now, another thing I wanted to point out here, this is completely optional, but I told you we have AI assistants built in, and I'm using Claude, so I needed to add my Claude API key here. But if you just follow these instructions and go and get you a Claude API key from the Claude.site, I'm not going to click on it here, but that's the you can just type in Claude console, and that's where you go. If you have a Claude account, you can go there, you can generate a new API key, copy it over, bring it in, and then and that's all it takes. You'll have AI capabilities through the Claude API. So let's continue. The next thing we're going to do is set up our database and seed our content. So we do that with npx, we'll say drizzle-kit and push. And we let that run. Pulled it, no changes detected. That's great. That's what we want to see here. Now let's seed this information. So we'll say npm run. So we run db:/seed. All right. So the seedings are complete. Everything is good. And guys, that's basically it. So the next thing that you would want to do is you want to go npm run dev. It's going to start up, and then we'll be able to access the site by going to your local host 3000. Okay, so here we are. This is what the dash looks like, and I'm just going to leave this open here, but we'll just minimize to bring this down. So this is what your dash homepage looks like now that we have the app up and running. As you can see, we have a dashboard that will show your overall progress as you go, your study streak, your best score, your exam overall readiness as you do the flashcards and practice exam and do the labs. Here are all the domains that you can have quick access to, and then it tracks your recent activity as well. So, and like I said, this is just your main dashboard, just to give you a quick overview. Now, when you come into the study tab, let's log back in. There we go. Yes, so when you go into the study tab, you can go in, break it down by category. And as you can see here, there are 13 different parts for the network domains or network fundamentals, 9 for access. And they're all broken down, like I said, based on the blueprint and the weight of the blueprint. That's how I decided to do the weights for the study lab as well. So you will have more questions coming from the IP connectivity than, say, the automation part here. So let's just click into one and go into the network fundamentals. And as you see here, we have sections 1.1 through 113 broken down, so you can click on any one that you want. And when you want, let's see here, explore the role and function of network components. So let's click into that. And then it gives you a nice breakdown, summary of what all this topic is going to cover. It goes into the exam objectives, breaks them down, gives you some key points such as, routers make forwarding decisions based on destination IP addresses and maintain routing tables to determine the best path for packets across networks. That's great. These are all just little tips that you can have that'll help you kind of remember the objective that you're studying here. I even give you some exam tips. And then we have some practice scenarios for the entire, this is actually for the entire section 1. So when you click, you have 3 practice scenarios that you can go to. And this one, for instance, you're designing a network for a medium-sized company with 500 users across 3 floors. The company needs separate broadcast domains for each department, HR, engineering, and sales, and they want to use the 192.168.0.0/16 private address space. It's going to get, then it's going to ask you how many subnets and what subnet mask would you use if each department needs up to 200 hosts, and what topology architecture would be most appropriate. Now, the reason I wanted to include these practice scenarios is to just give you something to think about that's a real world scenario that you might be tasked to do. Something just besides the basic book questions and things like that, which are great, but I just wanted us to be able to think a little bit deeper and cause our brains to have to function in something that, your manager might ask you one day, hey, I need you to subnet this out for me. Can you do it? And you need to be able to say, okay, yeah, I've done this before. So while you're doing this, if you struggle, or if you get an answer and you want to check it, then I give you your answer here. You'd use a /24 subnet mask and for each department and blah, 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 blah. So, and then we've got down here, we've got some common mistakes that I think, to be aware of, to watch out for. Like I said, these are just some real world things that I've noticed in my time and, over 10 years in the industry that, a few tips and tricks that I just wanted to give everyone to look out for. And then lastly, if you're if you're studying one of the topics and you just wanted to get some more information here, let's say, okay, a Cisco LAN and campus design guide. So you click on that, and then I have all of the links, like I said, going to sites that allow you to get some more information and to dive a little bit deeper into the domain and the topic that you're studying here. So that is the study portion. The next portion, which a lot of, I think one of the biggest selling points here is the labs. So we have, like I said, 10 labs, and they're broken down by iOS CLI labs, labs that are focused on Python or automation, and then we have a subnetting lab. So let me take you into one. Let's just go into, we'll take the single area OSPF. So when you start a lab, it's going to tell you the objectives that you have. It's going to break down the lab setup, the configuration, the topology, your requirements, the key concepts, and the verification as you go. So if we were to come here, we can go ahead and just do this one real quick. Let's see here. So our requirements, we're going to have to, configure OSPF. So we'll say OSPF 1. We need a manually configured router ID of 1.1.1, so router ID 1.1.1.1. Okay, we got to advertise our networks. So, whoops, I made a mistake. So router OSPF 1, there we go. And router ID 1.1.1.1. Okay. I'm trying to get a little bit ahead of myself here. So now it wants us to advertise our networks, 192.168, 10.0.0, okay. Into area 0 with the appropriate wildcard mask, okay. So we'll say network 192.168.1.0.0.0.255, area 0, okay. And we'll do the network 10.0.0.0 slash, 0.255, area 0. Okay. Let's see, interface settings, the link on gig 00 connects directly to one other router. Configure it to use the appropriate network type. Okay. So we'll say interface GI 0/0. We'll say IP OSPF network. Point to point. It was point to point, right? Yes. Okay. And see, I like how I don't expressly tell you what to do. You have to actually know what you're doing to configure the appropriate network. So that's just a little bit deeper. I'm not going to just give you the answer or give you the steps step by step. You'll have to think just a little bit. Okay. And then let's see, passive interface, gig 02 connects to a server network with no OSPF neighbors, ensure. Okay, so now we have to go back into, let's go router OSPF. And we'll say passive, I believe it's passive interface, GI0/2. Okay. I believe that's all we have. So now we'll come here. Let's check our solution. I missed one thing. See, I said router IS. So, okay. I can come here. Am I in my router OSPF? Yes, so I can say router ID 1.1.1.1. We'll enter that. Let's recheck our solution. And there we go. We now have 100%. We are completed. So I just wanted to show you this as well. Now, one thing that we can show you also is that I have a hint system built in here. So if you get stuck, you can just come down here and say show hint, and it'll give you the hints here. Now, I believe as you go down, the hints will cost you some XP points. So be careful as you use your hints because it might affect your overall score, I believe. So, but yeah, as you see here, you've got up to 3 hints and I believe per challenge. So that is built in as well. Now, the practice labs, like I said, we have practice labs here where you can study the full practice labs. We've got 2 full practice labs, and we've got a domain quizzes that you can take here to make sure that, you know, if you want to just focus on a particular subject, you've got that as well. And then it tracks your past attempts here. These are all just things that I was in, you know, testing and all that good stuff. So yes, we have full practice exams. Let's just go in real quick. Let's just say a fundamental. Let's do a quiz just to show you what you're looking at. And it's simple, you know, in a 3-tier network architecture, which layer aggregates traffic from access layer switches and enforces policies such as QoS and security. Okay, so you could go there, boom, and you know, you would go next, and then you would submit. I'm gonna just do this here. All right, we did get that answer correct, so it gives you a review. It would tell you what you got correct, what you missed there, and like I said, it will track it, okay? Next is our flashcards. Now, again, this is just to help you study and build that memory up of seeing these cards, seeing the definitions, and getting them in your head. And you can practice them by domain. You know, you can just do it all, or you can do the fundamentals, access, you know, connectivity. However, you know, best works for you. If you know the card, you can even search for the card. But we'll just start a basic review here. And it's going to say, you know, what are the OSPF, hello, and dead timer defaults for broadcast networks? You hit space button, it gives you, it tells you the answer is 10 and 40 seconds, and then it even gives you an explanation with another external reference source. So once you say, you know, how easy, you know, what this for you, if you didn't know it well, you would hit again, and you would see it, you know, probably later on to the same day if you came back and did more cards. If you said it was easy, this card would disappear for 7 days and you wouldn't see it again. And that way, the topics that you are confident on, you do not see those as much. And the topics that you are weakest on, you'll see those often. So last but not least, we have the AI tutor here. And you can use it to ask the AI anything, to be honest with you. But I've kind of gone ahead and given you a few examples of things that you can ask the AI. So let's see here. Let's just pick one. Let's just say explain the difference between TCP and UDP. And if we ask our AI, I think I need to restart my server. Give me a pause. Let me pause real quick because I added my key late. Give me a second, guys. Okay, guys, we're back. That was my mistake. In my environment.local file, I had my Anthropic key commented out. So that was my mistake. I added it but forgot to uncomment it. So make sure when you clone the repo that you uncomment that if you're going to use the AI functions, especially Claude. I have it already in your environment.local file. You just need to uncomment it and add your own key, and then we'll go. You should be fine. So let's go ahead. We'll ask the same question, explain the difference between TCP and UDP. Perfect. This time it's going to go. And as you can see here, from the API, it's going to pull and give you some differences here. So you just let it go out and it'll continue until it's done. You can save your copy of your chat history with the AI so you know what questions you've been asking or what you've been struggling for. But this is it, guys. This is my CCNA StudyLab. Like I said, go check it out. Go get it from the GitHub repo. It's completely free. I hope that you guys are able to gather some useful knowledge from it, and I hope it helps you a whole lot. Also, go to my webpage, which is www.thetechie.com. You have access to some videos and some other things that I've been working on over there with AI. I have some blogs over there and how I built an observability platform. Sorry guys, it's early. And also it has access to my GitHub repo so that you can see all the projects that I have publicly available there to just play around with and explore. So thank you guys for taking a few minutes to be with me while I explain my project. And like I said, I hope it's something that you find valuable, and I hope everybody enjoys. So this is Elliot from the Techie again. I thank you for your time, and I appreciate everything that you do, and I'll be back with you soon. Bye-bye.